Let's look at dual system sync sound audio recording. Now, the microphone on the Canon 6D camera is actually quite small. So the sound that's going to give you is quite tinny, it's going to be a lot of echo, it's not going to be the greatest sound you can use. You really only want to use it in an emergency. That's why in the camera kit, you're going to find this audio recorder. It's the Roland 026. And not only is the built-in microphones much superior to what you have on the Canon 60D, but with these XLR inputs, we can actually use external microphones during our video shoot. Let's take a look how we set up this recorder to work with the camera to give us really good sync sound. So here we have a very typical interview setup. We have a camera over here with the interviewer who's going to be talking to the subject over here. One thing I'd like you to notice is I placed the camera at eye level, so it's directly looking at the subject, and I'm using the zoom lens to frame the shot, so it's going to be a little bit out of focus in the background. It's going to look quite nicer. So one of the things I'm going to do today is ask our guest, how do we set up the Roland 0269 recorder to record two microphones at the same time? So let's set up the Roland 026 recorder for recording dual system sync sound recording. So what we're going to do is we're going to use two microphones. One microphone is going to be on me, and the other microphone is going to be on the interviewer. And what we're going to do, we're going to set up the recorder so that each microphone has its own independent recording level control. This is really important because, of course, we don't all talk at the same loudness. Some of us get really excited and talk much louder. So once we've set up the recorder, we've done the date and time, we've formatted our SD card, what we want to do is press the menu button and go into Record Setup. And here what we're going to do, we're going to choose record mode as 2 channels. A record source, we're going to use analog but mono. So what that means is each plug is independent of each other. Then what we want to do to make our audio files friendly for the editing software, let's choose a sample rate of 48 kilohertz and a record format at 24-bit, which is going to give us a really good wave format. We always want to choose the wave format because that is an uncompressed audio that is quite easy for editing purposes. Once we've done the record setup, we want to go over to Input Setup, Analog In, and make sure that the input type is separate because, of course, we're using 2 separate microphones. So I have one microphone on me, and because I'm the subject of the interview, I will be plugging my microphone into input number 1. And because I'm the interviewer, Mike is going to be plugging my microphone into input number 2. Once again, we wanted to have the levels separate so that when I'm talking, I might be talking quieter than Mike, who's going to be talking a little bit louder. So now we've plugged our 2 microphones into the audio recorder. Now what we're going to do is do a separate audio test for each person. First, we'll do it with me. And what you want to do is just do general chit-chat, normal talking, so that you can set the good levels. So I press the record button, and I can see my levels here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise number 1 right here. And I'm going to raise it. What I'm looking for is to have my levels between 12 and 6. That looks pretty good. So that's pretty good for me. So I've set one microphone, and then I'll do the exact same thing with the second microphone. Sync sound recording exercise, take 1. So let's set up the Roland 026 recorder for recording dual system sync sound recording.